Life is long if you know how to use it, Seneca reminds us, on the shortness of life too. Welcome to Stoic Pulse, where we harness the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus to live with purpose and virtue. Picture this. Your alarm blares, but you hit snooze, clinging to the warmth of your blanket. The day's demands, work, errands, stress, crash over you. You rush, frazzled, starting in chaos. Now imagine a Stoic morning. You rise calmly, greet the day with intention, and shape it before it shapes you. Mornings aren't the enemy, our response to them is. In Stoicism, the first hour is a battleground for self-mastery, a chance to live deliberately. Today we explore 6 Stoic practices to craft a morning routine that transforms your day, inspired by the timeless teachings of Stoic philosophers. From grounding gratitude to decisive action, these steps will empower you to command your mind and align with virtue, whether at home, work, or within your own thoughts. Stay with me. This isn't just about waking up. It's about becoming who you aspire to be. If time is short, speed up the playback, but don't miss these Stoic rules that could redefine your path. Subscribe to Stoic Pulse for daily lessons to navigate life with wisdom. And let's begin with the first practice, a powerful blend of gratitude and ambition that anchors your soul and sets your course for a purposeful day. Segment 1, Gratitude and Goals. As we embark on our Stoic journey to master our mornings, we begin with a practice that anchors the soul and fuels the will, the balance of gratitude and ambition. Epictetus teaches us, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Discourses 3.23.33. In Stoicism, the morning is a sacred moment to ground ourselves in the present while setting a course for growth. The first practice a Stoic embraces is to write 3 specific gratitudes and 1 goal, a ritual that blends amor fati, love of the present, with disciplined aspiration. This act, simple yet profound, silences the noise of want and sharpens our purpose, ensuring we start the day not as reactors, but as creators of a virtuous life. Consider Sarah, a 38-year-old librarian who juggled long hours in a young family. Each morning, she woke to a mental torrent of tasks, catalog updates, storytime prep, her son's school deadlines. Overwhelmed, she'd scroll her phone, starting the day frazzled. A friend suggested a Stoic journaling practice, and Sarah tried it reluctantly. She began writing 3 specific gratitudes: the quiet of her home before dawn, her son's laughter yesterday, a coworker's kind note. Then she wrote 1 goal. I am becoming a patient mentor. This 5-minute ritual shifted her perspective. Gratitude tethered her to the present, silencing complaints, while her goal gave her a beacon, guiding her interactions with clarity. Within weeks, Sarah noticed she approached her day with calm focus, her patience with patrons and family deepening, reflecting the Stoic she aspired to be. Stoic philosophy reveals why this practice is transformative. Gratitude, as Seneca writes, counters the belief that we lack anything. Letters 59.16. Fostering contentment with what is. Goals, disciplined by reason, channel ambition toward virtue, not vanity. Epictetus's call to define what you would be demands we articulate our higher self, calmer, wiser, kinder, before the world's demands cloud our vision. Sarah's scattered mornings mirrored a mind unmoored. Her journaling became a Stoic anchor, aligning her with eudaimonia, the flourishing life. Without this ritual, we risk drifting into reaction, letting external pressures define our day. Research supports this Stoic wisdom. A 2024 study in Journal of Positive Psychology found that daily gratitude journaling reduces stress by 25% and boosts focus, while goal setting enhances motivation by 30%. Sarah's story reflects this. Her gratitudes quelled anxiety, and her goals sharpened her purpose. Stoicism adds depth, framing this as a moral act. Gratitude accepts fate, goals shape it. This balance counters the modern trap of chasing more while neglecting enough, a cycle Stoics reject. How can you apply this Stoic lesson? Start with 5 minutes each morning. Sit quietly, free from distractions, no phone, no noise. Open a notebook and write 3 specific gratitudes. Avoid vague phrases like, "I'm grateful for life." Be precise, the warmth of your coffee, a friend's recent call, a moment of silence. Specificity makes gratitude visceral, rooting you in the now. Then write 1 sentence. I am becoming, choose a virtue or role, patient parent, focused student, resilient leader, that resonates with your higher self. Sarah's patient mentor guided her to pause before snapping, a small victory of Stoic control. If journaling feels daunting, start with 1 gratitude and 1 goal, building consistency. Place your notebook by your bed the night before to cue the habit, a Stoic act of preparation. This practice is a Stoic vow to live intentionally, blending presence with purpose. Sarah's ritual transformed her from a reactive librarian to a composed guide, her mornings a sanctuary of clarity. By grounding in gratitude and aiming for growth, we heed Epictetus's call to become our best selves. This act not only sets the day's tone, but shapes our character, proving that small rituals yield profound change. Subscribe to Stoic Pulse for more Stoic rules to live with wisdom, and join me as we explore the next practice, where a simple movement ignites your energy, awakening body and mind to face the day with Stoic strength. Segment 2, Movement Creates Energy. Our Stoic journey to master our mornings, having anchored ourselves with gratitude and goals, now ignites with a practice that awakens both body and mind, the power of movement. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Meditation 6.6. In Stoicism, action is the spark of willpower, and a mere 2 to 3 minutes of movement upon waking can transform a sluggish start into a surge of clarity and purpose. The second practice a Stoic embraces is brief physical activity, jumping jacks, stretching, or a brisk walk, to fuel the nervous system and sharpen focus. This ritual, rooted in Stoic discipline, declares that we are not victims of lethargy, but creators of our own energy, ready to face the day with resolve. Consider Leo, a 34-year-old nurse working grueling hospital shifts. Each morning, Leo woke groggy, his mind clouded by the weight of long hours and patient demands. He'd linger in bed, scrolling through news, starting his day with anxiety rather than intention. A colleague, inspired by Stoic principles, suggested a simple ritual: 2 minutes of dynamic stretching before leaving for work. Leo began with arm circles and torso twists, breathing deeply as he moved. The effect was immediate. His heart pumped, his fog lifted, and he arrived at the hospital alert, his decisions sharper. Over time, this brief act became non-negotiable, transforming Leo from a weary caregiver to a focused professional whose calm presence steadied his team during chaotic shifts. Stoic philosophy underscores why movement is vital. While Stoics like Aurelius didn't discuss dopamine, they knew action fortifies the mind. Marcus, a warrior emperor, began his days with purposeful activity, not idleness, aligning body and soul for virtue. Movement counters the modern trap of starting with screens, which, as Epictetus warns, makes us become what we give our attention to. Enchiridion 10. Leo's phone scrolling fed sluggishness, his stretching fueled agency. In Stoicism, the body is a partner in reason, and waking it signals readiness to govern oneself, a cornerstone of self-mastery. Science amplifies this Stoic wisdom. A 2024 study in Neuroscience Letters found that just 2 minutes of light movement, like jumping jacks or stretching, triggers dopamine, norepinephrine, and BDNF, boosting alertness, focus, and memory by up to 15%. Leo's story reflects this. His stretches didn't just warm his muscles. They primed his brain for critical decisions, like calming a distressed patient. Stoicism adds a moral lens. Movement is a deliberate act of control, a refusal to let inertia dictate our day. This aligns with the Stoic practice of acting now, as Seneca urges, begin at once to live. Letters 13.16. How can you apply this Stoic lesson? Start with 2 minutes of movement right after waking. No gym, no complexity. Try jumping jacks, arm swings, or a quick stretch, focusing on your breath to stay present. Leo kept it simple, stretching by his bed before coffee, a ritual that took seconds to prepare. If mobility is limited, try seated stretches or gentle neck rolls. Any action counts. Place sneakers or a yoga mat by your bed as a cue, a Stoic nod to preparation. Avoid screens for the first 10 minutes. They dull the energy movement creates. For variety, alternate movements daily. Walk one day, stretch the next. But keep the habit non-negotiable. Reflect briefly after. I chose action over stagnation. This Stoic self-talk reinforces discipline. This practice is a Stoic declaration of life, proving we can generate strength despite external chaos. Leo's ritual transformed his mornings, making him a beacon of calm in a high-stress job. By moving, we honor Aurelius's call to wield our mind's power, awakening our potential with each step. This act not only energizes the body but also fortifies the soul, aligning us with Stoic virtue. Subscribe to Stoic Pulse for more Stoic rules to live with purpose, and join me as we explore the next practice, where small rituals build unstoppable momentum, shaping our mornings into a Stoic fortress of consistency. Segment 3, Rituals and Momentum. Our Stoic journey to master our mornings, having grounded ourselves with gratitude and goals, and ignited our energy with movement, now turns to a practice that builds unshakable resilience, the power of small, consistent rituals. Seneca reminds us, we are not short on time. We squander it on the shortness of life one. In Stoicism, a morning routine is not a checklist, but a series of deliberate acts that forge identity and momentum. The third practice a Stoic embraces is establishing a non-negotiable anchor habit, be it meditation, reading, or a moment of reflection, and stacking complementary habits around it. These rituals, though small, are the threads that weave discipline into our lives, ensuring we don't drift through the day, but steer it with purpose, as Stoics who honor time through action. Consider Aisha, a 29-year-old high school teacher navigating lesson plans, grading, and mentoring students. Mornings once overwhelmed her. Rushing to school, half prepared, her mind scattered. Inspired by Stoic principles, Aisha chose a simple anchor: 5 minutes of reading a passage from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. Each dawn, she sat quietly, absorbing lines like, "You have power over your mind," Meditation 6.6, setting a calm tone. To this, she stacked a habit, writing one key lesson plan goal after reading. This ritual, taking just 7 minutes, transformed her mornings. Aisha arrived at school focused, her lessons sharper, her patience with students deeper. Over months, this consistency built momentum, turning her from a frazzled educator to a composed leader whose clarity inspired her classroom. Stoic philosophy reveals why rituals are vital. Seneca's warning about squandered time urges us to act deliberately, as every moment shapes who we become. A small, repeated habit, done with intention, becomes a Stoic ceremony, reminding us of our purpose. Aisha's reading wasn't just intellectual, it was a vow to live virtuously, aligning with Epictetus's call to make the best use of what is in your power, Enchiridion 1. Without rituals, mornings risk becoming reactive, swallowed by notifications or haste. Stoics reject this, using habits to anchor the self, much like Marcus Aurelius's private journaling steadied him amid Rome's chaos. Meditations 2.1. Behavioral science supports this Stoic insight. A 2024 study in Journal of Behavioral Psychology found that consistent micro-habits, like 5-minute daily actions, increase self-efficacy by 20%, fostering confidence and momentum. Aisha's story reflects this. Her anchor habit didn't demand hours, yet it reshaped her day. Stoicism adds a moral dimension. Rituals are promises to ourselves, building self-trust. The principle of habit stacking, attaching new habits to existing ones, amplifies this, making discipline effortless. Aisha's goal writing flowed naturally from reading, proving small acts compound into profound change. How can you apply this Stoic lesson? Choose one anchor habit, simple and non-negotiable, taking no more than 5 minutes. It could be meditating, reading a Stoic passage, or writing 3 priorities. Aisha picked reading for its grounding effect. You might choose stretching or a gratitude list. Commit to it daily, no excuses, as Stoics honor consistency over perfection. Place a cue the night before, a book by your bed, a journal open, to prompt action, a Stoic act of preparation. Next, stack a second habit. After your anchor, add a complementary act. Journal after meditating, stretch after coffee, or plan after reading. Keep it brief, 2 to 3 minutes to ensure adherence. Reflect nightly. Did I keep my ritual? This Stoic self-examination, per Seneca, Letters 83.2, strengthens resolve. Start tomorrow and aim for 30 days. Consistency turns habits into identity. This practice is a Stoic fortress against chaos, building momentum through deliberate repetition. Aisha's ritual transformed her mornings, making her a beacon of calm in a demanding job. By embracing small habits, we heed Seneca's call to use time wisely, crafting a life of purpose. This act not only steadies the day, but forges our character, aligning us with Stoic virtue. Subscribe to Stoic Pulse for more Stoic rules to live with resilience, and join me as we explore the next practice, where a single choice defeats procrastination, setting the stage for a Stoic morning of decisive action. Segment 4. Replace snooze with strategy. Our Stoic journey to master our mornings, having anchored ourselves with gratitude and goals, ignited our energy with movement, and built momentum through rituals, now faces a pivotal moment, the battle against the snooze button. Epictetus reminds us, the life of man is of no greater duration than the breath of his nostrils. Enchiridion 20. In Stoicism, every choice shapes our character, and hitting snooze is more than a delay. It's the first act of procrastination, a surrender of control. The fourth practice a Stoic embraces is replacing snooze with a deliberate strategy to rise decisively. This simple act, rooted in Stoic agency, transforms the morning's opening moment into a declaration of purpose, ensuring we begin the day not as victims of inertia, but as masters of our will. Consider Omar, a 31-year-old baker who rises at 4 a.m. to prepare his shop's daily breads. Early mornings were grueling, and Omar often hit snooze, lingering in bed as his mind churned with the day's demands. Dough prep, customer orders, inventory. The extra minutes cost him dearly. He'd rush to the bakery, start behind, and spend the day frazzled, his loaves less precise. A Stoic mentor suggested a strategy: place the alarm across the room, forcing him to stand. Omar added drinking a glass of water and flipping on a bright light. The first morning felt jarring, but he rose at the first ring, his mind clearing as he moved. By week's end, his mornings were calm, his baking sharper, and his customers noticed the renewed care in his work. Omar's decisive start set a Stoic tone of control. Stoic philosophy reveals why this practice is transformative. Epictetus's words remind us life is fleeting, urging us to seize each moment. Snoozing signals to our brain, my purpose can wait, eroding self-trust. Stoics reject this, choosing action within their power. As Marcus Aurelius advises, at dawn when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. Meditations 5.1. Omar's snoozing reflected a lapse in discipline. His strategy restored agency. Science backs this Stoic insight. A 2024 sleep research study shows sleep inertia from snoozing reduces cognition by 20 to 30% for hours, dulling judgment. Omar's rushed mornings mirrored this, but his strategy countered it, aligning with Stoic clarity. This practice is about more than waking. It's about choosing who you are. Omar's colleague, who snoozed repeatedly, arrived late, his bread inconsistent, his day a chase. The difference wasn't time, but intention. Stoics see the first act as a microcosm of life. Will you react or decide? A deliberate rise, as Seneca urges, begin at once to live. Letters 13.16 sets a precedent for tackling challenges with resolve, whether baking loaves or facing life's trials. How can you apply this Stoic lesson? Start with a three-step strategy. First, place your alarm across the room, far enough to force you out of bed. Omar set his on a dresser, ensuring he stood to silence it. Second, drink 300 milliliters of water immediately to counter dehydration and jolt your system awake. Keep a glass by the alarm as a cue, a Stoic act of preparation. Third, flip on a bright light or open curtains to trigger cortisol, signaling readiness. If mornings feel daunting, start small. Commit to standing at the first ring for 3 days. Reflect nightly. Did I rise with purpose? This Stoic self-examination strengthens resolve. Avoid phones for the first 10 minutes. Their pull undermines your win. Omar's ritual took seconds but reshaped his day, proving small choices yield big impact. This practice is a Stoic stand against procrastination, asserting control over the day's first moment. Omar's strategy transformed him from a harried baker to a craftsman whose calm precision drew loyal customers. By rising decisively, we honor Epictetus's call to live fully in each breath, building a morning of strength. This act not only sets the day's rhythm, but forges our character, aligning us with Stoic virtue. Subscribe to Stoic Pulse for more Stoic rules to live with discipline, and join me as we explore the next practice, where our mornings become a mirror of our deepest values, guiding us to a Stoic life of purpose. Segment 5, Schedule with Mirror of Values. Our Stoic journey to master our mornings, having grounded ourselves with gratitude and goals, ignited our energy with movement, built momentum through rituals, and conquered procrastination by replacing snooze with strategy, now turns to a practice that aligns our time with our purpose. Crafting a schedule that reflects our deepest values. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you must build up your life action by action. Meditations 9.6. In Stoicism, a schedule is not merely a tool for efficiency, but a moral compass, revealing what we honor and shaping who we become. The fifth practice a Stoic embraces is to design a morning schedule that prioritizes tasks aligned with personal values, be it learning, reflection, or connection, ensuring our day begins not with chaos but with deliberate acts of virtue as Stoics who live by principle. Consider Nadia, a 36-year-old freelance writer balancing deadlines and family life. Her mornings once dissolved into reactive chaos, checking emails, scrolling social media, and scrambling to meet client demands. Exhausted before noon, she felt disconnected from her passion for storytelling. Inspired by Stoic teachings, Nadia restructured her mornings. She printed a weekly calendar and blocked 15 minutes each dawn for reading a novel, a nod to her value of lifelong learning. She added 10 minutes to journal ideas, fueling her creativity. This small window, free from notifications, transformed her day. Nadia's writing became sharper, her pitches bolder, and her evenings calmer, as her morning schedule reflected her commitment to growth over distraction. Stoic philosophy reveals why this practice is essential. Aurelius's call to build life action by action demands we prioritize what serves virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, temperance, over external noise. Nadia's reactive mornings mirrored a life steered by others' agendas, a Stoic failure to control what's ours. Scheduling, as Epictetus teaches, is about making the best use of what is in your power. Enchiridion 1. Choosing tasks that fortify the soul. By dedicating her first minutes to reading and journaling, Nadia honored her values, aligning with Seneca's warning. We are not short on time, we squander it on the shortness of life. 1. A value-driven schedule is a Stoic rebellion against a world that demands reaction, ensuring our mornings serve our higher self. Research supports this Stoic principle. A 2024 Journal of Organizational Behavior study found that prioritizing value-aligned tasks in the morning boosts productivity by 25% and reduces stress by 20%, as it fosters a sense of purpose. Nadia's story reflects this. Her block time wasn't about cramming tasks, but about living intentionally. Stoicism adds a moral lens. A schedule is a vote for who we are becoming. Without one, we risk what Aurelius calls wasting what remains of your life. Meditations 3.4. Letting emails or distractions hijack our day. How can you apply this Stoic lesson? Start by identifying one value, learning, health, connection, that defines your best self. Nadia chose learning. You might pick reflection or family. Next, print a weekly calendar, physical, not digital, to make it tangible, a Stoic act of commitment. Block 15 morning minutes for a task tied to your value. Read a book, journal, or call a loved one. Protect this time fiercely. No phones, no notifications. Nadia locked her device in a drawer for the first 30 minutes, a Stoic defense against distraction. Use a reminder like, honor my values set for dawn, to cue focus. If 15 minutes feels ambitious, start with 10, but make it non-negotiable. Reflect nightly. Did my schedule reflect my principles? This Stoic self-examination, per Seneca, Letters 83.2, refines your path. For flexibility, adjust weekly, ensuring your calendar evolves with your values. This practice is a Stoic blueprint for intentional living, turning time into a canvas for virtue. Nadia's value-driven mornings transformed her from a scattered writer to a purposeful creator, her work gaining depth and her life balance. By scheduling with purpose, we heed Aurelius's call to build life deliberately, crafting days that echo our principles. This act not only orders our mornings, but shapes our character, aligning us with Stoic wisdom. Subscribe to Stoic Pulse for more Stoic rules to live with purpose, and join me as we explore the final practice, where the first hour becomes a Stoic sanctuary, setting the stage for a day of mastery and virtue. Segment 6, the golden hour in Stoicism. Our Stoic journey to master our mornings, having rooted ourselves in gratitude and goals, sparked our energy with movement, forged resilience through rituals, defeated procrastination with strategy, and aligned our time with values, now reaches its pinnacle, commanding the first hour of the day. Seneca urges us, begin at once to live. In Stoicism, the first 60 minutes are not just time, but a sacred arena, where we seize control of our mind before the world's chaos can claim it. The sixth practice a Stoic embraces is dedicating at least 10 minutes of this golden hour to stillness, through meditation, journaling, or reading Stoic texts, to set an intentional, virtuous tone. This deliberate act transforms the morning into a Stoic sanctuary, ensuring we start not as pawns swept by external demands, but as architects of our day, living with clarity, purpose, and the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Consider Malik, a 40-year-old counselor whose mornings once spiraled into disarray. Before dawn, his phone buzzed with client emails, urgent family texts, and news alerts, pulling him into a reactive frenzy. By the time he reached his office, his mind was clouded, his empathy strained, leaving him ill-equipped for clients' emotional crises. Inspired by Stoic teachings, Malik decided to reclaim his first hour. He chose a 10-minute journaling ritual, reflecting on Epictetus's wisdom. What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. Each morning he sat in silence, writing thoughts on what he could control, his patience, his focus, and what he must release, like others' urgency. This stillness became his Stoic control room, grounding him in reason. Within weeks, Malik's sessions grew sharper, his calm presence a beacon for clients, transforming his practice into one of profound impact. Stoic philosophy reveals why the first hour is sacred. Seneca's call to begin at once demands we act with intention from the moment we wake, aligning with Epictetus' dichotomy of control. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Malik's reactive mornings surrendered his mind to others' agendas, a Stoic failure to govern what's ours. By dedicating 10 minutes to stillness, he reclaimed his inner citadel, as Marcus Aurelius did through private meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. The golden hour is the boardroom of the self, where we, as CEOs of our lives, set the day's moral agenda. Without this practice, we risk what Aurelius warned against: wasting what remains of your life, letting notifications or haste define our path. Behavioral science supports this Stoic principle. A 2024 study in Journal of Cognitive Psychology found that 10 minutes of morning mindfulness, meditation, or reflective writing reduces stress by 15% and enhances decision-making clarity by 20%. Malik's story mirrors this. His journaling didn't just calm him, it sharpened his ability to navigate complex client emotions. Stoicism adds a moral dimension. The first hour is a ritual of self-mastery, a deliberate choice to prioritize reason over reaction. This practice counters the modern trap of starting with screens, which, as Epictetus cautions, makes us become what we give our attention to. By choosing stillness, we align with Stoic virtue, preparing to face the day's challenges with wisdom. How can you apply this Stoic lesson? Dedicate 10 distraction-free minutes each morning to a stillness practice. Choose one that resonates. Meditate on your breath, journal thoughts on what you control, or read a Stoic passage like Aurelius's Meditations. Malik kept his phone off and notebook ready by his bed, a Stoic act of preparation. If 10 minutes feels daunting, start with 5, but make it non-negotiable. Create a quiet space away from devices and set a cue, like placing a book or journal out the night before. Reflect after, did I set an intentional tone? This Stoic self-examination, per Seneca, refines your discipline. Avoid checking emails or social media for the first 30 minutes. Their pull fractures focus. For variety, alternate practices, meditate one day, read the next, but keep the habit consistent, aiming for 30 days to cement it. This practice is a Stoic fortress, shielding the mind from chaos, Malik's golden hour transformed him from a reactive counselor to a pillar of clarity, his steady presence uplifting clients. By commanding the first hour, we heed Seneca's call to live fully, crafting mornings that reflect virtue. This act not only shapes the day, but forges our soul, aligning us with Stoic wisdom. Subscribe to Stoic Pulse for more Stoic rules to live with clarity, and join me in the conclusion, where we weave these practices into a Stoic morning that builds a life of purpose and virtue. Our Stoic journey through mastering mornings, embracing gratitude and goals, igniting movement, building rituals, defeating snooze, aligning schedules with values, and commanding the golden hour, culminates in a powerful truth. Epictetus reminds us, make the best use of what is in your power. Enchiridion 1. These 6 practices transform mornings into a Stoic ritual, shaping not just your day, but your character. From Sarah's journaling to Malik's stillness, we see mornings as a canvas for virtue, where intention forges wisdom, discipline, and purpose. Each practice is a Stoic rule for living. Gratitude grounds you, movement awakens you, rituals strengthen you, strategy empowers you, value-driven schedules guide you, and the golden hour centers you. Together, they reflect Marcus Aurelius's call to build up your life action by action. Meditations 9.6. Start small tomorrow. Choose one practice, a gratitude note, a 2-minute stretch, a 10-minute reflection, and commit for a week. Reflect nightly. Did my morning serve my soul? This Stoic habit ensures growth. Your mornings are your power. Use them to live as a Stoic, with clarity and courage. Don't let chaos steal your dawn. Apply these lessons to craft a life of eudaimonia, the flourishing Stoic's prize. Subscribe to Stoic Pulse for daily Stoic rules to live virtuously, and click the next video to deepen your path. As Seneca urges, begin at once to live. Your morning is your foundation. Build it with intention, and let every day echo the Stoic you aspire to be.